he would step across the line. Habitually. He's a habitual line stepper.
You make me happy. Thank y'all for joining me on the Habitual Line Stepper podcast. I am Garrett Charles Langley Henson.
And I am Terry Ricardo the Shares the Second. We back. What's good?
We are, sir. It's been a hot minute since the last time we left y'all. The Celtics went on to win the NBA Finals. The Hawks got the number one pick in the draft and took the French Reggie Bullock.
Yeah.
Clay went to the Mavs. PG went to the Sixers. DeJounte Murray got traded to the Pelicans. Summer League started. Bronny James is playing basketball with his dad. The USA crashed out of the Copa America, fired our coach. Spain won the Euros. Argentina won the Copa Americas, and then celebrated with a racist and transphobic song that alienated a lot of their club teammates. Oh, and I went to Colombia for a week for Santi's wedding.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Santi and the wedding, man. Congratulations. Well, they'd already got married, but, a lot of people are doing you get married on paper and then we do a celebration later. But shout out to him.
And
That's
then
awesome.
you had some big news. I don't know if you want to share on the podcast. But
not
just
my wife
me
is
going to
pregnant.
Colombia.
Yeah, my wife is pregnant and I'm having a girl, bro. I'm a girl dad. Shout out to Kobe. Yep. Nah, shit's crazy. Shit's huge. Thank you. Nah, it's going to be dope, man. First baby. And we'll see how it goes, bro. I'm happy.
You're going to be all right, man. I know that for sure. Well, all right, dude.
Appreciate
let's
it.
get right to it. Literally the last soundbite that we had was me making fun of you for taking the Celtics in 5 in the NBA Finals. I called it completely ridiculous. Here we are, like almost a month later. The Celtics won in 5. The Mavericks had no chance.
Hey, look, shout out to DraftKings. Shout out to the haters. Easy money in the bank, dog. Celtics in 5. I think I want to say it was like plus 150 or something like that. A cool $500 in my pocket. It's easy money. Look, you got to dig deep. You got to look at the rosters. You got to look what works and what doesn't work. Luka Doncic was hurt, bro. It was easy money for me. My man was hurt. He wasn't 100%. And look, everybody says injuries, blah, 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 blah. That's a lie. A couple of years ago, Jason Tatum, shoulder, shot as fuck. Couldn't fucking shoot to save his life. So, as much as I wanted it to be a good finals, I knew it wasn't going to be great because if he's hurt, they're pretty much done. And, the matchups are just too hard for Kyrie, so it was pretty easy for me. I didn't know how you didn't see it. I thought it was simple. They should have swept them, honestly. The 40-point loss was just whatever. It's just stupid. What was the third biggest finals loss ever? Or some stupid shit like that. Yeah, so, still, some of the games were good, but, overall, the Celtics pretty much dominated them. I guess, later on in the future, we'll talk about some repeat champs, but what did you think about it when you saw it?
Like I said in my preview, my head is telling me the Celtics are about to win this, but my heart will not allow me to pick them. And I think this is got to be a learning moment for me. Sometimes you can't go with your gut, and when your brain is telling you 15 different times that this team is way better, at some point you should listen. I just don't like the Celtics. I didn't want to see Al Horford get a ring was my big thing.
Why? The Hawks stuff.
Yeah, I just want him to be one of these forever journeyman, all-star, never got it done kind of guys. And he was run out of time. So,
he deserves a ring, man. He's a solid vet. He's a solid player.
Yeah, deserves a CONCACAF ring playing for Dominican Republic.
So wait, I don't understand why you hating on him, bro. He was a long-time Hawk. He played well for you guys for a while. What's the problem?
He talked all this shit about us after he fucking left to go to Boston, talking about I want to be in a city with real fans and all this other type of stuff.
The fans ain't fanning in Atlanta, man.
Yeah, you know it would help. You know it would help bring real fans? Fucking winning. That would have helped.
You won 60 games?
You know what would have helped the Hawks? You playing fucking center instead of power forward for 10 years. That's what it would have helped the Hawks.
Oh, my God, man. Come on, man. Don't hate on your boy Al. That's messed up. Let it go, man. Let it go. It's over. I don't get mad at Joakim Noah. That doesn't make any sense. What's the Knicks that won a championship? I don't know. I don't get mad at them. The Knicks are like a revolving. So I don't get mad at those dudes. Bro, they got a career. They got money they got to have, I'm pro player.
It's fair enough. I think it's also fair to realize that the Hawks are doomed with or without Al Horford, and him sticking around in Atlanta probably wouldn't have changed anything. We got the fucking number 1 pick in the draft this year, and we took a guy who can't dribble or score at the rim, who
Interesting pick.
only shot the three well for 2 months of his whole life and has never made threes beyond that. He has a negative wingspan and finished in the 9th percentile in vertical leap. Ladies and gentlemen, your number 1 NBA draft pick, Atlanta.
Learn his name
again.
Learn his name. So let's transition to the summer and everything, because finals is over. Good for the Celtics, but yeah, we're playing the Hawks, man. I would have thought they were gonna go like way more like upside opposed to. I don't even like. I know the guy, but I was surprised, man. I really was surprised. I thought they were gonna take Sarr, but I don't know. I mean, I don't think there was like a sure, guy that was the person. So I was thinking you would go out really high potential.
That's what I was hoping, or at least like a really high floor guy that like, oh, you know what, he can be a starter on a championship team as we continue to add pieces.
Yeah, maybe.
I wanted them to take Ron Holland, who ended up going to Detroit. Kid from the G League. He kind of put up like Jalen Green type numbers in the G League. Young as fuck. Yeah. Number 1 player, like when he was in high school and stuff, before he decided to go to the G League and not go to college. I would have loved for us to take him. I thought we maybe would have taken Donovan Clingan, out of UConn.
He was decent.
Move on from Clint Capella a couple years down the line. He's got like a fucking 9-foot standing reach that'll cover up for a lot of Trae Young playing Ole defense on the perimeter. But no, we ended up taking a fucking French guy who can't dribble, pass, or shoot. Number 1. Shouts to us.
I will say this.
He weighs 180 pounds and he's 6'9".
Yeah. So both of us weigh more than him. That's insane.
Yes. I'm
6 feet
10 and I'm 220.
Yeah. That's wild. So I will say this though. I'll give y'all credit for, I would say, at least the past 5 years. I don't know like your GM or your development guys, but the picks that you have gotten have been good if it wasn't for injuries. Like Cam Reddish, he got hurt.
Or AJ Griffin tweeting out.
He's still good though, right?
Bro, he's not only is he not good, we traded him for nothing to the Houston Rockets.
That's weird.
We traded
that was his second year? You traded him?
Yeah, we traded him for cash considerations. Literally just I feel get the fuck off the team. It all went downhill for him after he put out that tweet that was like, Beyonce is devil music. Y'all are devil worshippers going to her concert in Atlanta. The city turned on him like that. No. Next thing you know, he's playing in Houston.
But you look at it though, because you got Trae Young, awesome. Okongwu, I feel like you guys have developed him pretty well. And Johnson, his first name's Jalen, right? Yeah, Jalen Johnson. I feel like you developed him pretty fucking well. I felt like DeAndre Hunter was fucking blossoming a little bit. Injuries just kind of derailed everything that he's done, but he was good. Herder, I thought you guys were developing him well. I think you guys are pretty good at it. I don't want you to look at like the Cam Reddish and whoever else. I feel like Cam is probably the worst, but you got 3 or 4 dudes that actually have been decent for first round picks as well. So I mean, like I like it. I think you'll be okay with the guy, but we'll see. What do you think?
I got no confidence in this Hawks front office, considering it's like Landry Fields, who's never been a GM before, who's the guy in charge, and then his top dog is Kyle Korver, who's never been a coach in a front office before, and then the guy supporting them is the owner's son, who's never worked in basketball or finance before, and he's like in charge of the salary cap and who we're signing. So forgive me if I don't have a whole lot of confidence. and the fact that our owner refused to spend up to the first apron and just like, yeah, we're going to pay Trae Young $50 million, but we're not going to surround him with any players that can help with winning. So they don't have any confidence built up in the bank. All the good draft picks were Travis Schlenk, who's like currently in Washington.
Oh, so he's gone.
Yeah.
And
he's
the one who got Sarr. I like Sarr, man.
See, what happens is Travis Schlenk was like, no, I'm not doing the DeJounte Murray trade. Like, this is fucking stupid. And then Landry Fields and the owner, like, railroad him out. And we're like, no, we're going to do that. And he was like, if y'all want to do this stupid shit, then I'm out of here. And ever since that DeJounte Murray trade, all we've done is stupid shit.
So do you remember who you traded to get him? Or get him out of there? Who did you guys to get DeJounte gone?
Oh yeah, we got back Dyson Daniels, Larry Nance, and 2 picks.
Interesting. All
That
right.
was that
Well,
was our return for an all-star point guard who's 25 years old.
so I'm guessing you guys are rebuilding. I suppose this is going to be a total rebuild.
Terry, we would love to do that, except we owe our first-round draft picks to the San Antonio Spurs for the next
Tough.
3 years as part of the DeJounte Murray trade. So we
So-
can't even suck because we don't have those picks.
What about Trey Young? If you trade Trey Young, you get some picks.
Yeah, but we'd have to trade him to the Spurs to get those picks back, and they'd rather have the picks
So, hold
than
on,
have
hold on.
Trey Young.
So I know you gave your picks away to them, but if you trade Trey Young for first round picks from another team,
Yeah,
you get those first round picks.
We could do what the Nets did, but then we also could end up trading or having to give the number 1 pick to the Spurs if we tank and getting the fucking 9th pick back from whatever other team.
If you don't,
Yeah.
don't get it, yeah. No,
So
that
it's
makes sense.
We don't control our own future. It's a rough
It's
time
a
to be a
double-edged
Hawks
sword.
fan. Al Horford, you made the right decision.
Oh, for sure. Hey, man, it is what it is, man. You guys are fucked. I feel like you should have. It's a tough situation. You probably should. I still think you should trade Trey Young, but it is what it is, man.
We're not
At this
gonna do
point,
that.
break the scoring record, Trey. Fucking break the scoring record, dog. LeBron, watch out. Trey's coming. He's gonna be scoring 28 a game this year. There's
I
no one
hope
to stop
so.
him.
There's no one
No
else
one
who
to
could.
stop.
No one else who could dribble on the roster either. So,
No, not really. You still got DeAndre Hunter?
yeah, for now, we've been trying to move him for 3 years. Nobody wants him.
It's over, man. Hey,
We're gonna end up trading him for a pack of Delta Airline peanuts, just like we did with John Collins.
did we talk about the draft last time we were on a pod or no?
No, dude, it's been a minute. So, were there any
So-
draft picks that you like? Any summer league guys that are standing out?
Fucking Reed. Reed
Shepherd?
Shepard is way better than I thought he would be around like NBA talent guys. But
Much
I mean,
better
summer league
defender
sometimes.
than I thought.
Yeah,
he'd be.
yeah. Summer league doesn't always translate, but like he looks pretty good. Sar has shown me some shit defensively where I'm like, okay, even if he's not good at offense, I feel like you got defense. Fuck it. He's great at fucking defending the rim. He could probably be a pick and roll guy for Trey Young. And
Just
you don't even got to
lobs.
focus on and you don't even focus on defense anymore. Like, look, man, you're good at defense. Let's just do all offensive drills. It's like if I had him on 2K, like defense, you're good. 100 points on post moves, 100 points on fucking pick and roll, all that shit. Develop your shot. I think he might be able to. He's good. I said Trey Young. I forgot he went to the Wizards. Jordan Poole. He'll be really good with
Wizards.
Jordan Poole, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be good with Jordan Poole. Zach Edey, I like that pick. But go ahead. I don't want to say a million. I don't want to say a million picks before you say one.
No,
that you
it's
like.
good. I like the Zach Edey pick too. That was a lot higher than a lot
For
of
the
people had
Grizzlies.
him.
I thought it was high, but for them, I think is needed because he is like similar. Not similar, but like it's another big body like Steven Adams that's not going to be able to guard perimeter dudes. But he looked like he slimmed down and he's moving a little faster than he was in college. We know he's got post moves.
Yeah.
That him and Ja might be fucking disgusting.
He's going to be able to score on mismatches and if they switch on smaller players and all that type of stuff. He's got a
He's
decent
going to score
bag than
8
Steven
points.
Adams. Yeah.
He's scoring 8 points easy on just lobs and shit from Ja. Like it's going to be really easy for him. So
we know Jaren Jackson Jr. fouls way too much to play the center position full time. Like he needs another 7-footer alongside of him. I don't know.
It's a fucking foul machine, man. My God.
So they're like number one priority. Let's get a big ass 7-footer in here to protect the rim so Jaren Jackson Jr. can stay in the game.
Not for sure. Because he's a really good defender, but he does foul a lot. He fouls.
Yeah.
And it's mostly on shot contests. Those are a lot of where his fouls come from.
I like both of those guys. Edey only played like one game in the summer league before he twisted his foot or some shit like that. Reed Shepard has been fucking balling out. He averaged like over 20 points a game and 5 assists.
Yeah.
He kind of looks to me like OKC Chris Paul on defense. Where
scrappy.
he's like always in the right spot. He doubles when people are fucking looking other places. He's got heavy hands. You know, he's not athletic at all, but he's a little fire hydrant out there competing, winning on IQ and toughness and all that shit. I liked him. I like what I've seen from the guy who went to the Bulls, Matas Buzelis.
Yeah.
He
looks pretty good.
Another G League Ignite guy, like Ron Holland. You know,
That's done now.
it's hard to tell, like, any of those guys. Like you said, the program folded, but also
Yeah.
they had like 5 starters on the same team who are all 19 years old trying to get picked in the top 10. None of them
that's
wanted
tough.
to pass the ball. It's like, I don't know how you evaluate these guys. And the Bulls, they may have lucked out by him like moving down to 9. He's been dominating the summer league. He probably had the dunk of the whole summer league against the Warriors. 28 points. He went up against Ron Holland and the Pistons, and he had like 18 and 4 blocks in 20-something minutes. Every time he scores, he's talking shit to whoever he was scored on. He fucking carries himself like the baddest motherfucker on the planet. Now, I don't know, Terry.
You want that, though. You want that.
Am I having Mario Hazonia flashbacks right now? Am I falling for the banana in the tailpipe again? Stay tuned. But I like what I'm seeing so far.
We'll see. Nah, I liked him. I honestly did like the Lakers' first round pick. I thought he actually was like a sneaky guy to kind of slide down because he can shoot fucking lights out. He's pretty tall. Connect. Dalton Connect. Yeah, he's really fucking good. He's been doing pretty well in the summer league.
Yep. I mean,
besides
he's
that first
25
round,
years old. He should be.
Yeah, he's 24, right? Like, legitimately, he's actually 24.
Yeah, I think he'll be 25 when the season starts. Yeah.
That's tough. He's really good, though. I mean, like, if you think about, like, the Lakers still need, like, a guard to guard, like, Jamal Murray. So he won't score fucking 40 points a game. But,
Gabe Vincent is like, back.
Yeah, but if you think it's like Dalton Connect, Reeves, LeBron, AD, and then add, like, you know, whatever guard you think will help them out, it's not bad. You know, nice little spreading. Hey, them 2 boys in the corner, because they gonna shoot. Shout out to Vando, but he ain't shooting shit. He gets the ball in the corner. He's like, pump fake. Nah, I'm good.
I said last year, God, what was his name who signed with them? The super talented center who shoots threes, but
Hayes. No, Mo Bamba?
No, fuck. The guy from Houston and Detroit. Oh, my God.
Oh, Christian Wood.
I said last year that if LeBron James could win a championship with Christian Wood, it would be the biggest feat of his entire playing career. I think if he could win a championship with 2 starting white wings, that would be the biggest achievement of his NBA career.
We keep moving the goalposts. First it was Russell Westbrook, then it was Christian Wood. Now it's 2 white wings.
Yep. Can't do it. I don't know why LeBron keeps taking all these Herculean challenges. Bro, you're 39 years old. You should have teamed up with D Wade and Chris Bosh now, not when you were 23.
And JJ Redick, though. And JJ Redick being the coach. Like, that's going to be fucking tough. But another pick I did like. Go ahead.
You know what's probably going to ease all that and make things a lot easier for everybody is having his son play on the team with him.
Yeah, you want to talk about that, Adam?
Might as well. I mean, you talk about the draft, summer league standouts. Bronny's been a standout for all the wrong reasons.
I thought people are going to – it's a lot, man. You know, I know it's tough for the kid being LeBron James' son and all that shit, but the motherfucker's a second-round 55th pick. Leave him the fuck alone. He might not even – he's probably going to make the team, and he'll give them a lot of money.
He got a 4-year deal. He made the team.
Yeah. He's going to give them a lot of money throughout the season, but, like, I wish people would just let him fucking just suck. He had a fucking cardiac arrest a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Like, you know how hard that shit is to come back from? Shaq's son never came back from that shit. Shaq's son was amazing. Forget his name.
Sharif.
Sharif O'Neal.
Yeah,
Sharif. Yeah. Sharif is a fucking absolute stud. Had a cardiac arrest before he went to UCLA. Yep. Never was the same. He could never get it back. So it's like, the fact that he's on the court playing basketball, I give it to him, bro. I'm not gonna fucking say anything. He wasn't. I mean, he tore his ACL in high school. Had a fucking heart attack before college. Yeah, you want from this motherfucker?
Get your expectations right. You know, like don't expect Ken Griffey Jr. and Ken Griffey Sr. and him, you know, hitting a home run while his dad is next up. That's not what it's gonna be like. He needs to have the Bruno Caboclo treatment. He's 2 years away from being 2 years away. That's what Bruno is.
Hey, man. If he ends up being Mario Chalmers, cool. But I don't really expect anything.
Yeah. Getting Mario Chalmers at the 55th pick, that'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. But I don't expect a lot for it. What do you think, man? You think it's a little bit too much? I think it's a bit much. I got no expectations on him.
More likely,
I don't think he's going to be great.
Turns into Frank Mason with no handles. But
maybe. Is he out the league in 4 years?
He'll probably get a
He
second.
looks.
He might get a second deal. You know what I mean?
I think he'll get a second contract.
Giannis's brothers have hung on a long time.
Yeah, but
longer than I thought
LeBron's not gonna be in the league 4 years from now. So
that's
it's
the thing.
like when that shit is done, unless he immediately goes into trying to get that Las Vegas, if LeBron immediately goes to try to get that Las Vegas franchise, and then maybe, but I don't really see that shit happening.
I mean,
that's what I see right now. But
the kid has unbelievable work ethic. The shot looks really good in drills and mechanically. For some reason, it just doesn't go in. I think it's some type of mental block or something like that.
Possibly, but his confidence. You got to get your confidence up too.
But he's going to have the most dedicated team in all of basketball, helping him get right and dissecting the ins and outs of specific moments that he can improve on.
Yeah, and they're actually pretty good at developing some of their late draft picks as well. I mean, Reeves being one, so Kuzma, Reeves, Ingram, Randall, they're spot on with their draft picks are good. They just don't, they like to trade away their draft picks. I think they should keep most of their fucking draft picks because they're fucking good at evaluating who's going to be good. From the past, 6 years, a lot of those dudes, all-stars, fucking all-stars. They got all-NBA and all-star guys that they've drafted in the past 6 years.
Yeah.
They traded them away, but, it is what it is. Lonzo was really good. He just got hurt. Every person they had drafted in the past 5 to 6 years have been really good. They just give them away for nothing.
With the exception of Jalen Hood Schifino, of course.
Of course. I mean, it's not everybody's not going to hit.
And Taylor Horton Tucker.
Everybody's not going to hit.
Other guys I've liked from Summer League, there's really one other one I want to talk about. Point guard for the Wizards, Bub Carrington, youngest player in the whole draft. He's going to be 18 until half of the season or something like that. The Wizards are going to suck. Jordan Poole is not a point guard, nor do they want him to play point guard. He's going to get a ton of opportunity. And he's really good in Summer League, especially for a young guy. He's 6'4", he has good size. He had a triple-double in his first game. He had a 20-point game. Getting up there with the assists. He's got good vision. He's going to have a long, long leash in terms of the amount of mistakes that he's allowed to be, or that he's going to be allowed to be made in Washington this year when they're gunning for that Cooper Flag #1 pick.
Yeah.
Bub Carrington, I think he's a name to watch this year.
All right. We'll look for that. And I have not seen Jared McCain. Just the schedule has kind of been tough to watch a game, but I think realistically, because he shoots pretty well. And I'm from Durham. I got to talk about one Dookie before we get out of here. Him and his 3-point shot, and he's pretty good at defense. I think he'll fit in with the Sixers.
He'll fit in nice with Embiid and Maxey and all those guys. And let me give another
Paul
special
George.
shout out to a Sixer. Rihanna's older brother, David Douglas's girlfriend's older brother, Ricky Council, has been probably the best player for the Sixers this G League year. He's on a 2-way, averaging over 20 points a game in the Summer League. He's probably going to make that Sixers roster too.
Shout out to the Douglas family. Shout out to Dave.
Besides that, Sixers, man, they got fucking Paul George. We buried the lead. We talk about Ricky Council the fourth. They got Paul fucking George in free agency. Not only did that, but they got the Clippers picks that they basically swapped James Harden for Paul George with just a year in between and got a shit ton of assets for doing. Daryl Morey.
Give it to the man.
Daryl
Gotta give it to him. He's a fucking bloodhound, dog. He's really good at his job, bro. There's nothing we can say bad about. I mean, he should have paid Harden, but it is what it is.
What do you think about Paul George's fit with the Sixers?
Perfect. He's a better Tobias Harris. Look, it's a little bit of disrespect, but at the same time, Paul George, you be disappearing in some games, man. Okay? It's totally fine for me to say that. I think you're really fucking good, but at times you do disappear. It's okay. And if you're with Embiid and you're with Maxey, they're hyper-aggressive fucking scorers. It'll be perfect. He'll have wide open fucking opportunities. He'll have one-on-one opportunities to tween and do whatever you like. I think it's gonna be dope. And I like the coach. The coach is gonna put all those guys in position to be great. Hopefully Embiid just stays healthy, man. And I think the Sixers are gonna be somebody to watch for.
Yeah.
That's a chance. Boston, watch out, Boston. Those motherfuckers are good.
Yeah.
Embiid, just stay healthy. Jesus Christ.
I agree. And they got Caleb Martin too. Brought back Kelly Oubre. Brought back Kyle Lowry.
Yeah. Hopefully Oubre will be good again. I don't know what actually happened to him, but we'll see. He was good before
when
he got hit by a car.
Yeah.
And then they saw the video and they were like, "You didn't get hit by a car. What the fuck happened to you, bro?" I don't know. I don't know. It's all alleged.
That's what I call my side chick's brass knuckles. Car.
It's all alleged, man. I don't know shit.
But yeah, times are looking good in Philadelphia. That was probably the biggest offseason move. Maybe I like the way they did. We'll get there. We'll get there. Well, I'm going there, Terry.
All right.
For me, it's the best offseason move because I don't think you can fight fire with the Celtics and win. Like play their style with a bunch of shooting three, rangy, switchable, two-way guys. Like I feel like the Celtics are just the best at that. I like what the Sixers did in doubling down on another style and be like, hey, we're going to add another guy who's going to make Joel Embiid better, another guy who's going to take the pressure off Tyrese Maxey. We're not going to try to be like the team that won the championship. We're going to be the team that's trying to make you adjust and counterpunch and do shit you don't want to do. I like that for them. But then on the other side, Terry, your New York Knicks loaded up in a different way.
Nova Knicks.
Looking very similar to the Boston Celtics in terms of how they're constructing the team. Y'all traded 5 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges. Reunite the Nova
set the market.
You've had a couple weeks now to process things and digest. How are you feeling about your New York Knickerbockers making that big-time move?
We're the third best team in the East, you know?
Behind the Sixers?
Got to be behind the Sixers and the Celtics. I mean, we play the Celtics pretty hard. We play the Sixers hard for the most part, but you got to be realistic, you know? I've always been a realistic guy when it comes to New York because you just never know what's going down. But I think 5 first-rounders is a bit steep, but Mikal is a dude that plays 82 games. I'm fine with it. You know, he's going to be there for the majority of his time. I like that we went over the first apron. I'm fucking totally fine with that. Jalen Brunson like an absolute stud. I'm cool with that. Randall, we'll see how he fits in. You know, I don't really know how it's gonna go when with him with the team, and then I mean, OG Josh Hart. I don't know if Josh Hart's gonna start, but
no,
you know,
but that's OG, a hell of a bench unit with him and DiVincenzo and Miles McBride. You know, you guys need to find a backup center after you lost Hartenstein, but.
Yeah, and you were right. Hartenstein was really good for us, but
you got some money to do that now that Jalen Brunson pulled a Tom Brady and took an extension for way less than his value, so that you have money to go get other guys.
Yeah, that was dope. I mean, it's not the exact 100. He didn't actually lose 131.
He's going to go back early. Yeah.
Yeah. If he had to play this year and be All NBA again this year, and then it would have been like the super max extension. So everybody needs to chill out with that shit. Like he did leave money on the table by getting an extension early, but it's not promised. But Thibodeau's the coach. He gets hurt a lot.
Terry,
so it's like
it is promised. His dad is on the coach's staff. His fucking uncle is like Leon Rose who runs the team. He has another family member somewhere in the organization.
I'm saying though, but
that shit is promised. Cool. Jalen Brunson's getting his fucking money.
I'm saying all that is cool, but if he doesn't play 65 games, none of that shit matters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's all. Like when you're kind of injury prone, I'll take the money. He's good. I think he's a smart motherfucker. They're fine.
What do you think about reuniting the college atmosphere and that type of like camaraderie and foxhole mentality on the NBA stage?
It's dope. You want if you're playing a sport with your friend, with your bro, with somebody you know like inside and out, with somebody you hang out with like outside of the game, you're gonna play fucking super hard for that person. You're gonna hold them accountable, and they will listen to you. They don't think it's never gonna be a personal attack when you're like, "Hey man, play harder." If it's just some dude like we just play together, we don't really talk to each other, and you're like, "Hey man, play harder," like, "Hey, fuck you. I don't even know you like that. Don't talk to me." They're all cool. Like everybody's cool, so like I think it's gonna be fine. I don't really know who Randall still he's an enigma, bro. So I don't really know what's going to happen with him, but I think this team we're going to be good for a while.
You're going to be good really for a while. Good, man.
I'm happy. Yeah.
I'm happy for you. There's optimism and good reason for it in New York.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the Knicks.
Other big moves I guess we should talk about. Klay Thompson decided to finally break away from the Warriors. If you guys
Love it.
remember, I said last summer they should have traded him and got some fucking assets for him. I think that will prove to be right after he left for nothing in free agency. Obviously, he brings elite shooting to the Mavericks. What do you think about that fit down there with Luka? And is he the
I think
missing
this
piece
was
they
one of the
need to
best
get
moves
over
of
the
the
hump
offseason,
that
bro.
is the Boston Celtics?
I think it's one of the best moves in the offseason, bro. Like, he just gets to stand there in the corner while Luka and Kyrie do their thing, and he's the one that's going to shoot the threes. That's easy. Wet balls. What was he shooting last year? 39% from three? Like, come on, bro. It's fucking
I think
Klay
he had
Thompson.
41, which is in a down year.
It's Klay Thompson, wide open. Like, he's going to make a lot of those. This is about to be great addition. Defensively, PJ Washington, you're going to have to do a lot of work. Not going to lie. You're going to have to do a lot. And Gafford and fucking dude from Duke, Lively, they're going to be doing a lot of work. But offensively, you can't let that go, man. Offense, I don't think Durant is completely right. But if you can't get stops, but also on the other end, you're scoring about 125, 130 a game. And not forget, I think they were the number one offense a couple of years ago. And they still score a lot every game.
Yeah.
Got to keep up with the Joneses, dog. They got to be able to score and match up with some of these teams that they're going to play against. So I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good move. The price wasn't too bad. It's like $20 million a season.
Nah.
So that's a pretty fucking
fine.
good rate for Klay Thompson. A lot of people are like comparing this move to, Ray Allen coming to join the Boston Celtics. I think it's more like Ray Allen joined the Miami Heat. Like, I think Klay Thompson's going to hit some big shots, but he's not going to be counted upon to be like a 35-minute-a-game player, not a full-time starter. Maybe he closes, with that unit. A big problem for them is, like, he can't fucking guard. And Luka won't guard.
Nah, he can't.
And Kyrie doesn't guard during the regular season until the fucking stakes are super high. And then he starts trying.
Yeah.
You lost Derrick Jones Jr. You lost Josh Green.
Yep.
It's like, who's guarding? Besides Derek Lively and PJ Washington. Like
Quinn Grimes, I guess. He plays decent defense.
Yeah, they did a good job sneaking in from Detroit. I think in the end, though, the Mavs are not as close as they want themselves to believe. I feel like they're going to have plenty of success in the regular season next year. But if this roster stays the same way it is, I don't think they're like a true championship contender. I think I had my eyes opened a bit this year. And, you just can't be in the NBA Finals and have three guys who can't guard all on the court, like in the fourth quarter when games are closing down like that.
It'll be tough. It'll be really tough.
He's going to have to be fucking nuclear, from three to justify that type of stuff. But I definitely think he's going to fit in and hit a bunch of shots. Luka creates more catch and shoot threes than any player in the league, and they finally have a guy who's going to nail it down. But whether that's good enough against the elite teams, the people who are like Klay Thompson is the mission infinity stone, and the Mavs are going to be over the edge now, and they're the favorites in the West. Pump the brakes.
Yeah, it was tough though with the money he got. They really couldn't keep like all the other guys that they needed. Salary cap, it is what it is, but I don't know, man. I think the West got a tiny bit weaker to me. Like the top guys, like the Nuggets lost KCP. That's a huge fucking 3-point shooter that you're gonna miss. What? Good.
And just to add on top of that, after they lost Bruce Brown just because they didn't want to be in the fucking second apron in the tax. Lost KCP basically because they don't want to pay money. It's like you guys are at a championship parade a year ago talking about being a dynasty, winning 2, 3, 4 in a row. How the fuck you think you're going to do that? Not even hitting the first apron.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
And then on top of all that shit, they traded up. They traded like next year's draft picks and everything to move up in the draft. And the kid they took just tore his Achilles.
Yep. Nah, that's tough, man. They're kind of down. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, we'll see how it kind of goes. We don't really have to worry about the Warriors again this year. Rockets might be a new team that comes onto the fold. They played really well at the end of last year, but I don't know, what they kind of found without the big fella being there, how he's going to fit in with the team. I'm not sure, man. I mean, because the Grizzlies are not going to be that good. I don't know, man. It's going to be tough.
I don't know. They could be back. I don't know about the Grizzlies, but we'll have a whole, conference preview coming up and everything.
Yeah.
Where we deep
But just
dive into
looking
all
at the
that.
acquisitions in the West, bro, I don't know, man. Dallas might still kind of be up there. They might.
I wouldn't rule it out, but I don't think
Yeah.
Klay Thompson is going to push him to that highest level that some fans think they're going to be now, where they're like championship favorites.
Yeah.
I don't see that. Last one I guess we should talk about, DeJounte Murray getting traded to the New Orleans Pelicans. Unlike Miles Bridges, who's never been or Mikal Bridges, who's never been an All-Star, DeJounte Murray is a 25-year-old former All-Star who averaged 25 points a game last year. Again, hired Mikal Bridges. Bridges got 5 picks, so surely the Hawks got 4. Oh, no, wait. They definitely got at least 3, though. Oh, no. They got 2 draft picks, Dyson Daniels and Larry Nance. Shout out to the Atlanta Hawks. You've done it again.
It is what it is, bro.
Yeah, we already know what this move is like for the Hawks. It was absolute garbage. What do you think about this move for the Pelicans?
I don't really know what the Pelicans are doing, bro. Like, who's gonna be the starters? I'm just kind of confused because McCollum kind of looked. I'm not gonna say washed, but he definitely looked like he was declining a bit last year, defensively for sure. Offensively, didn't look as quick. He wasn't scoring at the same clip. Zion, of course, we know can't stay fucking healthy. Brandon Ingram is a fucking problem because if he doesn't have the ball, he didn't want to fucking play. And Willie Green benched him for like a couple games in the whole fucking fourth quarter. So I don't really know where they're going, bro.
And Valanciunas and Larry Nance, both their like starting bigs are gone.
Yeah,
like they don't know who's going to play the 5 at all on this team.
I don't know what they're doing. I don't like the move. It's fine. It's whatever.
Yeah, I'm happy
dumb.
They wanted to give us something for DeJounte Murray. I don't know where this trade takes you if you're the Pelicans. I don't know. We'll just play DeJounte Murray, Brandon Ingram, Trey Murphy, and Herb Jones at the 4 and Zion at the 5 and be small as fuck. Is that the goal? Or are we going to move CJ McCollum? Well, see, I didn't even name CJ in that group. He was already coming off the bench. So, I don't know. I got a lot of questions for the Pelicans as well. I don't think this move is changing the NBA landscape in the West.
Nah. 2 other ones we probably should talk about. They're not like crazy moves, but they help. OKC picked up Caruso and Hartenstein. Great fucking pickups for them. Being like the number 1 seed in the West. And then if you want to expand on that, we can. Now I was going to say Orlando getting KCP is nice, but OKC getting Caruso and Hartenstein.
Yep.
That's good shit right there. Hartenstein's a really good big. I think I like that.
They fleeced the bull. Didn't they get 2 first-round picks for the Diddler, too? For Josh Giddey? I think they got 2 first-round picks from Chicago in addition to taking Alex Caruso from them.
I think they might have. But I don't know. I can't confirm it, but I think they might have. I'm not sure, though. I can't confirm that. Interesting. OKC, my man.
Thunder are going to be even better next year. Well, you said the rest of the West getting weaker. Not out there in OKC. They're going to be back with a vengeance.
But they have to, another year of experience. They needed it because they got pretty much fucking dog shit on by the Mavs.
Yep.
No lie. Was it the Mavs? Yeah, Mavs, right?
Yeah. Well, it went to 7, but yeah.
They're the 1 seed. You gotta win. What? Come on, you gotta win that shit.
Well, now they have an actual backup big, which everyone clamored for all last season, pretty much, and they got another lockdown.
Who's the starting next to Dort? Are they still gonna start Chet? As the 5?
Yeah.
Hey, Jokic is about to feast on that.
But
Come on, bro.
if they want to go super big, they could play both of them together since Chet can shoot and Hartenstein's a good passer. That he's not going to gum things up. Like he's a really good short roll guy. So I feel like they can play both together if they want.
Yeah, I think that's probably going to be what they're going to do for the most part. Like especially versus like Minnesota's one of the better teams. Denver's one of the better teams. They both got bigs.
That'd be tough to fucking score on Hartenstein, Chet, fucking Caruso, Lou Dort, and SGA, who averaged like over 3 steals and blocks a game as a point guard.
Yeah.
Like that's gonna be tough.
That's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough. What do you think about San Antonio getting Harrison Barnes and the corpse of Chris Paul.
I think Chris Paul is going to be really good for Wemby. They didn't have anyone last year who could throw an entry pass on the team, much less run a
How many games did he play last year, though?
pick and roll. Probably 30-something if I had to bet.
Come on, bro.
But
I don't give a fuck about all that shit.
With, like, angles on the court, when to, reverse a screen, when to slip it,
on the bench,
spacing of different things, the timing, in practice, all that type of shit. He'll help him a ton with that. I always like player mentorship when you don't play the same position as the guy you're trying to mentor, because usually those guys aren't really trying to give the young guy who's about to take their livelihood away from them all the ins and outs and how to do so. But like a veteran point guard with a young center, I feel like that's a really good fit. In the draft, I wasn't really sure what they were doing, but they took the kid out of UConn who looked really good in the summer league, and Harrison Barnes he's washed, so that doesn't really matter.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. That's why I'm just like, and I know Wemby doesn't jump a lot, so I think that'll definitely save his career for a while, but. Still, bro, he's so fucking tall, man. You just really never know with those dudes that tall. Like, stop fucking around and get really good players on the team. Because I think he is the last 20 games of the season.
He was all NBA.
He was top 15.
Yeah.
Easy. Yeah. He was one of the top 15 players in the league. So it's like, stop messing around, man. Go and get that chip. This dude's a stud. He fell into your lap, but you can't just keep messing around and drafting dumb draft picks. And I thought the person they actually got this year wasn't horrible, but we'll see how it goes. I don't know.
They said he's like a Andre Iguodala type of player, Oh,
so if the laser beam was pointed at us,
we had one shot to save humanity. We're gonna select Stefan Castle.
So this dude's a beast. All right. Got
it. He shot it pretty well in the summer league in the one game he played. So, of course, that means he's going to be a career 40% three-point shooter.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Man. And 60% from the line. Andre Iguodala.
We had all the free agents. I feel like that just about covers them. Then the next thing going on right now is USA basketball getting ready for the Olympics. We picked the Olympic team. Yeah. Not too many surprises in terms of the roster.
I got big surprises for me. Huge surprises for me.
Go Cook.
Derek White.
As the injury replacement for Kawhi Leonard.
That doesn't make any sense. That makes no sense to me. You lost a wing and you picked a guard up. You lost a wing and you picked up a guard. If you lose a wing, you get another wing. Oh, wait. Who was an All-NBA player? In the last 3 years, that was a wing. Well, Paul George doesn't want to play.
Maybe a guy who won conference finals MVP and NBA finals MVP. No, not Jason Tatum, Terry. Are you talking about Jaylen Brown?
Jaylen Brown. He should be on the team. The politics is a little nuts for me. I'm not going to lie. I love Kyrie, and I know every fucking hooper. Like, you and I are not fucking hoopers. All right? We're not hoopers. We love fucking basketball, though. We're not the like Kobe's the best player type of shit. That's like a Hooper tape. Hoopers love saying that type of shit. But the politics between Nike and USA basketball is kind of getting in the way of us showing the rest of the world suck on our gigantic American fireworks. I'm not going to say the other word. I'm just saying, we just need the guys that are going to go in there and not give a shit about who the opponent is and try to fucking dominate them. Derek White, love him, but stop it. Kawhi also was like, I knew he wasn't going to play. That was a waste. I don't even know why he even went. Like, if you saw him get off the bus, like the original, so like, did you see that shit?
Yeah.
Did you see when they got off the bus? So look. Everybody has like big bags of luggage. Like they're going to be gone from their house for multiple months. So they had multiple bags. Kawhi, one bag, one small little duffel. I'm like, oh, this dude, if you really look at that, he didn't come to play. He just can't even like, let me see if I got it. Couple fucking shuffle drills, couple fucking jump shots in practice. Like, ooh, I ain't got it, boys. My knee's fucked. Y'all got it. LeBron's here. You got KD. You got Jason Tatum.
Bro,
It's easy.
I don't know why he thought he was going in the first place. Like, bro, you didn't even finish out the playoffs.
I'm sure, Steve Ballmer was like, bro, absolutely not. No.
Right.
I spent way too much money for this. And we lost Paul George? Absolutely not. You're not about to play a single second.
Nor should he have. In terms of Derek White, I really like the pickup. I'm in a different camp from you. I think he's a better fit.
You think you would like him over Jaylen Brown, though?
Yes. I think he's a better fit for this USA roster in terms of his ability to guard people 94 feet, hit floaters, hit catch and shoot. He runs pick and roll and is a better passer than Jaylen Brown. They already have a ton of fucking big wings. They
got Halliburton and fucking...
They needed guards who could play with Steph Curry. That's what they needed.
They got Halliburton.
The one thing we know at the end of the game, Steph Curry is going to be on the floor. And the question is, who's going to be the other guard closing with him? Booker... I think he should
Anthony
be probably.
Edwards.
I think Booker should be starting with Steph Curry. You think it should be Anthony Edwards, who I think they have earmarked
play the best players.
A reserve role. Anthony Edwards, to be fair, has not looked good so far playing for USA this summer. Has been.
They don't let him get a rhythm.
He'd be hijacking the rhythm, pulling up a fucking 3-on-1 fast break. I'm gonna pull up into a 3-pointer. Like, this is why you're not starting Anthony Edwards. How many times? No, I want a counter of passes versus shots. Not assists, just passes for Anthony Edwards.
Listen, him and Steve Kerr got a little bit of beef. It's totally fine. But if I'm not getting in the game, I'm going to just tell you from my perspective. If I'm sitting on the bench, and I'm not even going to talk about basketball. I'm going to talk about just soccer. If I'm sitting on the bench, as soon as I get in the game and touch the fucking ball, I've been fucking holding that motherfucker. I'm like, ooh, yeah, I like this thing right here. I'm dribbling. I might even take, if I got a shot, I'm going to shoot it. If there was a pass, I'm like, I didn't see him, coach. I shot that bitch. We might have a corner kick. I don't know. You got to give me a rhythm. He's a fucking top, like I said before we started, he's a top 6 player. If you don't like it, that's fine. I took Devin Booker's heart in Phoenix in the playoff series. The conversation between him and Devin Booker, that's over.
If
you want to do some...
It's not. It's over for
done.
you. It's not.
Did he not pick him?
In one series. Call me when you make a finals like Devin Booker did.
Oh, my God.
That's the best player on the team. Yeah, Chris Paul.
Who's as good as Chris Paul on Anthony Edwards' team? At that moment, Chris Paul was still fucking All-NBA. Who is as good as Chris Paul on Anthony Edwards' team right now?
Let me see who could score 14 points a game. Mike Conley?
All right. This is what we're doing with your boy?
Hey, Chris Paul was All-NBA. He was scored 14 points a game. They had 9 assists.
14 and 10. 14 and 10. Awesome player. Awesome leader.
Who can replace that 14 points a game? I don't know.
Who's better, Cat or Chris Paul?
I think this rookie that Minnesota just drafted can score 14 points a game.
Anyways, besides that, if you want, I don't want Ant Edwards playing the D-Wade role. If you think Booker's that guy, then bring Booker off the bench and let him fucking score.
Do you not think Derek White is a good fit to play next to Steph Curry from a stylistic perspective?
I don't want Derek White playing in the game. He's not good enough to play with this team. What are you talking about?
Bro.
No, he is not. He's a top 15 American player right now. Derek White is a top 15 American player.
No, but these things don't exist in a vacuum.
I don't give a shit about fit.
Yeah, that's why. That's why you send out the Allen Iverson KG team and go get finish 6th in the world.
They didn't even players either.
I want pieces
that
had
a
fit
whole bunch
together.
Of to make the team.
Every other team in the world takes players that fucking fit together. He fits amazing. That's why they took him. He fits with everybody. He can play on the ball. He can play off the ball. He can guard down.
Who's he close to?
He can finish at the rim. He can shoot threes.
Who is he close to on this team?
Jason Tatum.
As far as skill-wise.
Oh.
You think he's just as good as Jason Tatum? You think he's just as good as Bam Adebayo?
I thought you meant personally close, like close friends.
No. No, I'm saying, who is he close to this team?
He's better than Drew Holiday. He's better than Drew Holiday. I said it earlier in this year. I said, if you remember when we did our All-Star selections, I took Derek White over Jaylen Brown. So at least I'm being consistent about this. I rate Derek White. I think he's a very good player. I think he contributes to winning in a way that's really undervalued. And I think he's an excellent backcourt mate to Steph Curry. In fact, a much superior backcourt mate to his teammate Drew Holiday, who's starting the games.
I don't think either one of them should be on the team. I don't think Drew Holiday or Derek White should be on the team.
Let's bring Kyrie in. Okay, let's do it.
No. Give me Paolo Banchero. I want to keep it big. Either give me Banchero, not Kyrie.
Paolo
Banchero. Why not Paul George? Did they get the invite?
Fuck, if we're going to bring Paolo Banchero, we might as well bring Cooper Flagg. Why don't we bring Cooper Flagg as the
Heard he was cooking.
Yeah.
Heard he was cooking.
Well, Christian Laettner, this bitch. Anthony Davis when he was in Kentucky.
Drew or Derek White aren't good enough to be on this team. If you look at the team, I mean, even Halliburton barely should have made the team. I feel like Brunson is better than fucking Halliburton. But,
I agree. Me. I think Brunson should have made it. I think Trae Young is better than Halliburton, but, he's an Adidas guy. Well, so
is he Adidas? Yeah, okay. Yeah. So I don't think Drew or Derek White or Holiday probably should have made. Drew Holiday or Halliburton. Halliburton, he's streaky. Besides that, I can't. If I think of names, of course, I think Jaylen Brown definitely should have made it. American-wise, fuck, it's tough. I don't know.
Honestly, being real, dude.
They're role players. You don't need role players in this fucking team.
This team is fucking ridiculous, dude. Like, it's so stacked.
Are they, though?
Yes.
They beat Australia by 6 points, and they beat South Sudan by 1 fucking point.
So
by 1 point.
That's what we're kind of getting to. Is like,
come on, bro.
You need your team to be more than the sum of their parts, which is why you have to have players with complementary skill sets, which is pretty much why I like Derek White. We're not beating South Sudan without Derek White. Okay, Terry?
Derek White was getting cooked, I ain't gonna lie. If you watch that game, he was absolutely blown by. He was getting blown by crazy. Him and Drew Holiday. I was like, hey, man, y'all have the defense. What the fuck's going on? It's insane.
Man. USA basketball.
Insane.
We got a lot to look forward to this summer. They're saying
it'll be fun.
A more talented team than the second Dream Team. We shall see. The rest of the world has gotten a lot better since then. So
I don't think this team is more talented than the Dream Team.
If you still
did you look at the Dream Team roster?
Yeah.
Like what the and the second team that came after them, it was like Alonso and Shaq.
Yeah, I agree with you, Terry. This is what other people are saying. I think it's ridiculous.
I love Joel Embiid and Anthony Davis, but they're not Shaq and Hakeem.
Yeah, especially when Joel Embiid can't play 20 minutes without fouling out, and in FIBA you get fucking 7 fouls before you foul out, and he's still giving all of them in 15 minutes. But,
I love Joel, man, but he looks pretty slow. I think they'll probably still win the gold. It's just I don't know. You would like to see a team where it's literally every person you see on the team, you're like, oh, all Hall of Famers.
Right.
This is crazy.
Well, that's what Steve Kerr said at first. He said this team is 14 Hall of Famers. That's what this team is. Everyone who's on this team is
14.
He said everyone on this team is going to be in the Hall. Now that was with Kawhi and not Derek White, obviously.
I was about to say, who disrespect? Wait, how many people on the team? Is 14?
Yeah.
Wait, no.
14 Hall of Famers.
No, it's only 12 players.
It's 12. Well, then he said 12 Hall of Famers. Yeah. But yeah.
Damn, so 2 of the coaches aren't. 2 coaches are not. Right. Mark Few is like, nah, he's not making the Hall of Fame.
Hold on, they took Mark Few on the fucking USA basketball staff?
Gonzaga. They got to cheat.
Yeah, we gonna run the Gonzaga fucking Princeton handoff offense? What?
You know what's funny too though, with the coaches. And before I'm gonna go back to Derek White. Do you think that an NBA coach should be coaching? I feel like they have a slight bias. You already got the Nike Adidas bias, but then you also got Steve Kerr, where Anthony Edwards has been talking shit about your team, kicking your fucking ass in the West for the past couple of years, and you're not starting him every game when clearly he's the best. Devin Booker's good too, but it's I
think you should be able to coach in the NBA if you're not a championship contender. If you're playing into fucking May and June and everything, you don't need to be coaching this team. You need some time off to reach.
Well, they won 2 years ago.
Yeah. Well, they're not anywhere in the picture now. So I feel like Steve Kerr is fine.
That's just now, but he's been the coach for the past 4 years.
Yeah, which is probably why the Warriors have suffered. But Tell me you wouldn't say yes to like the next cycle a guy like Ime Udoka coaching the USA team.
I just wanted someone unbiased. That's all.
Okay.
I think he's got a little bit of a bias. That's all I'm saying.
All right, we'll have Lindsey Harding, the G League Coach of the Year, come coach USA basketball. Terry, you got your wish.
Let's do it.
All right.
We don't need a great coach. We just need someone to play the guys and be like, look, if you suck, get the fuck off the court and blame the other guys.
And
like,
that's a really
pretty
good
easy.
point. USA basketball doesn't need a great coach, but USA soccer definitely needs one. You know, we hosted the Copa America, participated in the first time in 15 years, and promptly didn't make it out of the group stage and lost to Panama. Our coach is fired. We finally moved on for Greg Berhalter, even after
you hated him.
A 14-month interim cycle in which we decided to hire him back after over a year. We hired him back so that he could do absolutely nothing. He's finally gone, Terry. I got an extensive list of candidates to replace him, and I want you to give me 1, 2, maybe 3 who you think would be a good fit for this position. All right?
But are you going to give me realistic names? Because you know the rules. These already talked about it before.
These are realistic names, I think.
Because if they pay him, they got to pay the women's coach the same. We already talked about that before.
Some of them are more realistic than others. Some of them
too realistic.
Some of them are too realistic, and some of them might involve giving Emma Hayes a $3 million raise just so we could pay another coach more.
I'll tell you that Phil Jackson.
Oh God, we gonna Ted Lasso this bitch. We gonna send Nick Saban to go coach the U.S. national team.
We need a real patriot out there.
I tell you what, Nick Saban would have never tolerated that Gio Reyna nonsense.
Oh no, for sure. But yeah, let's go. What do you think? Let's get a list. I'd like to say I was wrong before you get started. I thought Greg was definitely, because if you look at the win percentage, it's kind of like the Southgate shit. I don't love the way that we played, but the results, high percentage of wins. But we didn't get out of this group stage. It's time, It's time to make that move.
High percentage of wins against Mexico and the rest of the CONCACAF teams, and
Mexico sucks.
Terrible winning percentage against any other top 15 team. I think he didn't win a single game against top 15 teams, and we played like 20 games. So
like Switzerland, and higher
Colombia, all that Austria, that type of shit.
Yeah. Tough.
So, and for us, I mean, it came to the point where we couldn't even beat fucking Panama. So he had to go.
I know, neutral. Well, it was a home game, kind of, but
an opponent we play fucking 4 times a year playing on our home soil, who we're intimately familiar with, and y'all can't win that game. So here's my list.
I think. Go ahead.
Let's not number them. All right,
just go.
This guy, you just talked about him. He led England to the Euros twice. He's now out of the job.
I thought you were going to say Phil
Jackson. No. Who's even worse? Who's the motherfucker who's like, oh my God, this is going to drive me crazy now. Who's like best friends with Phil Jackson and Jeannie Buss, who fucking Kurt Rambis. That's who we're going to hire.
Oh my God.
Kurt Rambis.
Oh my God. Oh, that'd be fucking crazy.
All right, no Kurt Rambis. Gareth Southgate is a big name. Then we have Steve Cherundolo, who's coaching in LAFC.
Oh.
Won a couple domestic cups and titles with them. Hugo Perez, who did a remarkable job with El Salvador and played for the U.S., had like over 60 caps. Mauricio Pochettino, who is now out at Chelsea.
That's a money one. That's a money one.
Yep. Another money one. Xavi, who is getting paid for the next year not to coach at Barcelona. And definitely has a 2-year gap where he could fuck around and do something. Speaks English. Understands American culture pretty well. Patrick Vieira, who played, coached 2 years, I want to say, for the Philadelphia Union.
Oh, Philadelphia Union.
Then he went to Crystal Palace, and now his team is 13th in the French league.
Crystal Palace, that's who it was.
Yep. De La Fuente, who just won the Euros with Spain, but had his representatives reach out to the U.S. soccer people about the job opening and has shown interest to us, even if we didn't even think he was possible to get.
I don't want him.
Thierry Henry, who coached Monaco and the New York Red Bulls. Another guy
He's
familiar.
On CBS.
Yep.
Paramount.
Big name.
Familiar face.
Wilfred Nancy, the first black coach to win an MLS title. Speaks English, played in the MLS for a long time. And his team play like an aggressive style. He could be an interesting pick. Marcelo Gallardo, who's at River Plate, who actually is a free agent, won 14 titles in like 5 years at River Plate, and then Saudi Arabia gave him a bag, and then he fucking quit there after like 6 months. Hervé Renard, who was the coach for Saudi Arabia, the team that beat Argentina at the World Cup, just won the Women's World Cup, I want to say, with the French women's national team.
Well, like a U something?
Or or
like U20s or something? Or
maybe
U19s?
it was the Women's Euros or something.
Okay.
But I know he's the French women's national team coach, and now he's out of a job. Alou Cisse, former player who brought Senegal to the last 16 in the World Cup. A guy who has really good man management and stuff like that. That was a big problem in the team where you couldn't get buy-in to the coach. And then last but not least, Thomas Frank, who's the coach of Brentford, who brought them up to the Premier League and has done a really admirable job keeping there for 3 seasons and took the most points against the Big Six over the last 3 years other than any team other than Brighton. So knows how to get it done against bigger teams, kind of punching out of his weight class with players that are not as good. So out of all those names I just threw out there, are there any that jump out to you that you think would be a good fit?
I mean, the one for me, for sure, I want Henry. Like, he's at the top of my list. Henry would be at the top of my list.
Why is he at the top of your list?
I think he's a fantastic coach, and he's lived in America for a while. He knows the American culture. He played for the MLS for a bit. He might work. I mean, he holds dudes accountable. He knows who's good and who's not. He's going to not try to, he won't come in and try to change everything and make us play a fucking style that he knows that we can't play. He knows how American dudes play. So he's probably number one. Xavi would probably be second, but I don't want someone to actually come in here and be like, all right, tiki-taka. We don't have the fucking players for that. Not as of right now, we don't have the players for that. And the way American soccer is played from youth up, I don't think we ever will be like that unless it's a fucking complete overhaul of everything. So
no.
That shit is just not going to work. The dudes are good. Pretty much the whole roster at Copa America was, plays in Europe, blah, blah, blah. All that's lovely bullshit. But we're not fucking tiki-taka. We're physical. Dudes are athletic. Luckily we got Pulisic and Reyna who are really skillful. Tim Weah as well is really good. But that's just not us. I'm going to stick with those two for now. Pochettino would be also really good. But at the same time, I don't know, man. It's a tough job, bro. I really don't know who would be the perfect fit. You saw we reached out to Klopp and he was like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
I didn't even include him on the list because he already nexted us.
Yeah.
Jurgen Klopp.
Who would be the top?
He swiped left on America real quick, didn't he? But maybe he's just saying, "Come back with a bag when y'all are really serious." I don't know.
So who you got? Who you got?
Number one on my list, Terry. I'm going with Xavi. If you watch Barcelona over the last 2 years, they did not play tiki-taka. It was a very direct style. They played with 5 forwards against 4 defenders. High pressing, trying to win it back in the other team's half, really high intensity. When they won the La Liga, we were first in La Liga in terms of passes completed before we win the ball back. We only let teams play 9 passes on average before we got it back from them. So I think he'd be a really good fit with the athleticism of the team, the concept of verticality, and having those Berhalter always tried to push the 2 attacking mids up from the 4-3-3 to make that line of 5. I think Xavi will probably push the wingers up and have them kind of join and let the midfielders sit a bit deeper. But I think the structure would be really good. He speaks English. He understands American culture. And the transition from Bearhalter style, which seemed like he kind of wanted to do what Xavi was doing, but just didn't know the details of how to teach it properly. I feel like that would be a really good fit. So he's number one for me. Number two for me is the last guy I said, Thomas Frank from Brentford. I think he's going to be a really good fit. He tactically wise, he's very flexible. He plays 5 in the back. He plays like a 5-3-2 or he plays a 4-3-3. He can mix and match it depending on the teams he plays against. You know, Brentford didn't have the most talented squad, but they've stayed up 3 years in a row, all under the same manager. He brought them from the champions. And like I said, nobody took more points than Brentford against the Big Six over the last 3 years. So this is a dude who's tactically flexible. He understands how to manage players who are not world class yet, but are still very, very good. And, you know, he has a history of punching above his weight and taking points for big teams and big games. So I think he'd be a good fit. What do you think about Thomas Frank?
Solid choices.
And then my last one.
I like him.
My last one would be Gallardo, the guy who I said
Gallardo.
coaching in River Plate. You know, they won 14 titles in 5 years. He played at DC United for like a half a decade. He, you know, understands the MLS, speaks English. He changes his tactics a lot, which I think could be good for international soccer, that you're not just married to one system. He won titles playing a bunch of different ways. But the one thing that was always consistent with him is that we're going to be the protagonist in the game, and the match is going to be played in the other team's half. And you know, with the speed that we have on the back line and the athleticism we have, I feel like that would be a good fit as well. So with respect to Pochettino and you know, some of these other guys that are bigger names, Pochettino, Chelsea was an absolute shit show last year defensively. They averaged the most like expected goals against them in the Premier League out of everybody. International soccer is a lot more conservative. It's built on a foundation of solid defense. Like, I don't think he'd be a good fit as an international coach.
But that was a tough situation. So many new players, old defenders, a lot of injuries too for them. But I hear you on that. At the end of the day, dude, figure out your 11 to 14 guys, you know, see what'll work. I think it's hard, bro, because like, I don't know what the system is going to be. Yunus Musa played really bad during the Copa, so it's like...
Well, when he played...
yeah, but I remember the last game he played really fucking bad. He didn't even look like himself. I don't know exactly what happened, but I don't really know what the system is going to be, man. Because like 4-3-3 might work, but it's like, where is Gio? Like, who's at? Gio, Tim Weah, Pulisic, Balogun. Is Gio Reyna a fucking midfielder in a 4-3-3? With McKinney and Adams, and we just put Mintz on the bench and bring him off the bench. I feel like he's one of those guys who needs the rhythm of the game. So I don't know.
I feel like we could play a 4-3-3 double pivot and have 2 defensive midfielders and have Tyler Adams and Musa, and have Adams be the guy who's like breaking up the play and playing short passes, and have Musa be the Frankie de Jong type of guy who like carries the ball forward at his feet. And then Reyna could be free, kind of playing in that 10 role between the lines where he has freedom to move and, you know, the ability to.
So who comes off the bench? Weah, Balogun.
I mean, I play the base of those 2 guys, Musa and Adams. I'd have Reyna as the 10. I'd have Balogun.
So you got McKinney on the bench.
Yes.
Okay.
Or
McKinney's on the bench.
We can do what fucking Juve did and put his ass at right back, since Serginho Dest is a bit of a dumbass and is constantly getting hurt.
That might work. I like the athleticism as well. McKinney can jump like a motherfucker.
Yeah. He's a good crosser. You know, we'll get him up on the wing in advanced positions.
He's a skillful player. And then you put him in a more simpler position like that. Yeah. That'd work.
I think we could play Pulisic on the left, Weah on the right, and Balogun up top.
Because I think that was the thing. Like, those 2 dudes, Weah and Pulisic, right and left, don't touch them. Like, I don't think you should touch them at all. Weah and Pulisic should never be touched. They're fucking fantastic. Weah was a dumbass for getting that red card, but they both played fantastic. I got no blame on them. And Balogun played fucking well, too. So, like, I don't really have... Those 3 are set. That's why I was like, when I play like online and shit, I struggle with the Reyna in the 3. But maybe it'll work if you got 2 defensive mids. And we just kind of use Munsa and Adams as kind of going up and down, but being more of a defensive, and then Reyna just being the guy that'll be up, but you know he's not going to drop like that. Defensively, he doesn't really give you a whole lot. Like, I love him, but he's not like trying hard as fuck.
Yeah, he's not like Gavi out there who's running his life off in the opposition's half.
I think that'll have to change, but it just depends. They definitely do need like a complete new voice, though. And did you hear about the crazy Pep rumors and shit?
Yeah, I just don't believe that shit. Nor do I.
Because City is done.
Yeah,
he's going to coach this last season, and that's pretty much it. But
that's the thing. It's like the World Cup's in 2 years. Like, are we going to give Pep 8 months to get whip this team into shape for the World Cup? Like, I feel like if we hired Pep, it would have to be like this is like a 6-year deal or a 7-year deal.
I don't know.
I mean,
maybe take the bag.
If you can get Pep, go get fucking Pep. Make no bones about it. But I feel like, is Pep going to be happy coaching a whole team full of Calvin Phillipses? Is that his idea of the beautiful game?
I think he might just. The thing about it is, though, like, if you get him,
Pep's going to invent the inverted goalkeeper that plays striker.
Hey, look, we might get Zach Steffen back. I don't think he's like great or anything. And Matt Turner really did not impress me.
He's got to go. He's got to go. We gotta find another solution, man. That ain't it. I think that's been probably the most disappointing position group under Berhalter in general was the goalkeepers over his whole tenure. Like, we've had good goalkeepers, and there are quality MLS goalkeepers that he just doesn't select, and like we just don't give chances. And everyone who he picks, he's like, "Hey, I want us to play out of the back. I want us to take risks in our third. Let's get a goalkeeper who's terrified every single time the ball is at his feet."
His shit. The way he keeps the ball at his feet, every time he gets it, I'm like, my God. He is about to lose the ball right now. He's about to lose it. I don't like the way he plays, but who do we think we are? Okay, like, just because one person makes a mistake, that doesn't mean you don't have to sign them ever again to play on the national team. Like, I feel like that doesn't make any sense to me. Iko Parr, one mistake, never got called up again. Ochoa, one mistake, never got called up again. Zach Steffen, one mistake. Matt Turner's the starter now? He sucked. Before he started playing consistently, he wasn't even good. Like that, anyone can be good if you play them, because if they get the rhythm and the reps, you're going to be awesome. You see the ball all the time, you're going to be great. But one mistake, do we think we're fucking Spain? Like, dudes make mistakes there, they're just like, hey man, we know you're good. Keep playing. It's fine. Zach Steffen, he made one fucking mistake, but you asked him to do shit in which the guys in front of him, I don't think they're the best with the ball.
No.
Zimmerman, even fucking Chris Richards from Bayern, he's still not like the best with the ball at his feet. No. Carter Vickers, they're not fucking guys that get the ball and make plays. Like, they're not splitting the lines. So, like, calm the fuck down. You put him in a horrible position, but whatever. It is what it is. That's what they do. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, hopefully we can sort out goalkeeper. That should be one of the charges for this new coach. Get that position settled. Because we've always had a good goalie. As long as we've been alive, America has always had a good goalkeeper. Except for under the Berhalter era.
God, who was the dude before Tim Howard? Not
Brad Friedel?
No, Keller. Oh, yeah, Friedel.
Friedel and Casey Keller. We're both nasty.
Friedel was amazing back in the day. And Keller was really good, too.
Bro, even Tony Meola was a fucking beast.
Yeah. Tim Howard. Can never forget about Tim Howard. That fucking Belgian game. Shout out to Wondolowski, man. What a dickhead. But no, I was going to say, if you do get, like, one of the higher dudes, they might know about some dudes that we don't even know about. That'll just turn into fucking Americans. Like fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like Holland will be like, oh, Norway. I lived in America for fucking 6 months. Let me get that green card. Like, that's unrealistic. But you know what I mean? Like, like they might know about some talent. But at that point, it might be too late. I don't know. But we'll just see, man. You know, the goal.
Don't rule out the talent that we already have. You know, we just saw at the Euros, Spain just won the Euros with 16-year-old Yamin Lamal playing right winger for
Beast.
them. We have a 14-year-old
He's really
who just
good.
made his MLS debut, who got sold to Manchester City, who's going to be 16 by the time that World Cup comes. So I would not
Yeah, I
rule out
saw.
Caven Sullivan being in that team.
Yeah, I saw. But expectations still just get out the group stage, or what's the expectations?
Bro, this is our world. Like, I cannot overstate the opportunity that
Be
America
realistic.
has to like
Be
change
realistic.
how soccer is viewed in the United States. In this, when we're hosting the tournament, there are going to be more eyes than ever on the World Cup in America. Like, if we have a big showing and we make it to the last 16, or we make it to the last 8, something like that, that could be kind of a turning point in how soccer is viewed here. It could be a galvanizing moment. So I think it's paramount that we not have a showing like we did at the Copa America. Whatever coach that they hire needs to have their eye for like the next 2 years and don't even give a fuck about 4 years from now. We can hire Xavi or whatever to coach for the next 2 years and do us well through the World Cup, and then we can get another coach to develop us through the next 4 years to the next cycle. But priority number one has to make sure we do not come out and lay an egg at home while with the whole world watching.
Yeah, because we made the. You got to think about it. So was it 2002? Even though I think we all know it was kind of pretty cheating, like all the shit that happened at the where was it? Japan? Where was that World Cup? China, South Korea? I forget where.
It was Korea in 2002 where the referee got arrested
Yeah.
for accepting bribes after the game and then got arrested for trafficking heroin.
Yeah. So that was we made the quarters, right?
Yeah.
Or which round did we make? We made the quarterfinals, right?
Yeah, that was
so
our
you
best
think about
ever.
that, and also when we hosted was what 92?
Yeah, I want to say 92 or 96.
You just look up what year that was, but
94.
94. Okay,
Yeah.
So we got 94. What is it? 16 years later, 02, we get the talent. Beasley, Donovan, Cherundolo, Reyna's dad. A lot of those guys really good. Maybe they saw that. Who the fuck knows? 2002, we get these guys 16 to 18 years later. Pulisic, you know what I'm saying? Tim Weah, McKinney, Adams, like all the guys from 2002, they probably saw that. If we can do some shit in 2026, maybe 2042, we might be looking at it like, oh, these dudes might be even better than everyone that was before them. And I know like these guys are different. They're skillful, but they're not all complete. But like it's very important. Like if we make the quarterfinals or maybe even semifinals probably isn't realistic, but like if they can give us another run, you're right. We might be able to look at this in the future and be like, this is a turning point for everything. Like you'll get instead of Saquon Barkley making fucking $10 million playing for the Giants, he could be like fucking Mbappe making $100 million playing for fucking Real Madrid. You know what I'm saying? Like the top soccer players make more than LeBron.
Yeah.
The second tier top soccer players make more than every single fucking NFL player except for like Mahomes and a couple of dudes.
Yeah.
You got to think of it as an option, top athletes. Like there's 330 million people here. I'm sick and tired of us sucking. And like I thought I was an elite athlete until I got older and played against elite fucking athletes. And I was like, all right, I'm a really good athlete. If we can actually get elite athletes to play soccer, no one can touch us at all.
Everyone's like, oh, Anthony Robinson is probably one of the most athletic wingbacks in the world. Imagine
he's pretty athletic.
Yeah, imagine Tyreek Hill growing up in the fucking soccer playing wingback for the USA. Like there are levels to this, like you said. And if we can get that top 1% of the top 1%, like you said, it's unlikely we're ever going to tiki-taka teams off the field. But if we can lean into our greatest strengths, that goes a long way, especially when you're trying to establish a national identity. But one team that definitely does have a national identity that's all the same way through their youth ranks to their senior ranks that hasn't changed in a long time is Spain. And they ended up cashing out and winning the Euros. The coach of the Spain team, he coached the Spanish under-15s. He coached the Spanish under-17s. He coached the under-21s. And now he coaches the senior team to a European championship.
Yep.
I had Spain from the beginning of the tournament. You know, unfortunately, we didn't be able to get on wax and do this, but
Yeah.
you know, I've been a Spain supporter for a hot minute. Big time win for them. A part of me still can't believe that Alvaro Morata didn't manage to fuck this up.
He didn't have a chance to fuck it up.
Right. They said, we're going to take you off for 38-year-old Ori Ozdabal and play him in striker, and he's going to score the game-winning goal.
That was so funny seeing both the captains from in the final come off in like the 65th minute. I was like, yo, what is going on? I don't think that's ever happened in like any finals history. But dude, yeah, that's Spain, bro. Like,
and also on that, like, have you ever heard a striker with Harry Kane's pedigree who has like the Golden Boot in Europe 3 times, led the Premier League in scoring, led the Bundesliga, and then everyone is like criticizing his positioning and talking about how much he sucks? Like, have you ever seen something like that?
No, never. I mean, you can say whatever you want about him though, because he's never won a trophy. So it's like, it is what it is. Like, if you don't win a trophy, we're just like, this guy sucks. Whatever you're doing is wrong. Like, you're an idiot. But Spain, they're special, man. It was interesting kind of seeing this rendition of the Spain team because not a lot of Madrid, not a lot of Barcelona. Very interesting just seeing a bunch of different dudes in different places coming together for the Spain team. You know, because the teams in the past, half Madrid, half Spain, or half Barcelona, is half Madrid, half Barcelona, and you're like, all right, they'll probably win. Maybe like 2 dudes from Atletico. And you're like, oh yeah, this is the team. But like, what was it, like Athletic, Bilbao had some dudes, or where's Nico Williams play? Like,
yep. Yeah, Athletic Bilbao.
They came from like a bunch of different teams and to kind of come together and show the world, like, you know, we're not just 2 fucking teams. We can do this. Like, we're a squad.
Fucking Real Sociedad with Zubimende, Villarreal with Marc Lenormand. You know, up and down the roster, like you said.
The goalie, your boy, the goalie plays at fucking Arsenal. He's not even, not even part of Spain's.
Did they buy him?
La Liga or whatever.
Athletic Bilbao too.
It's interesting, man. I like it. It just goes to show that like player development is a thing. Player development is a thing, and you don't have to like always count on, superstars to like do everything for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And you can evolve your identity over time. Like, although this version of Spain, like, they still had possession more than other teams and stuff, they weren't playing. Yeah. They weren't playing the tiki-taka style with like Busquets, Xavi, Iniesta. They were like trying to get the ball to their wingers on one-on-one positions, and instead of your right winger being Pedro, it's Yamin Lamal who's taking people on one-on-one. Instead of your left winger being Iniesta or David Silva or one of the center midfielders that they used to play at left wing, it's Nico Williams going one-on-one. And I appreciated how they were able to like evolve and become more dangerous and tweak their style without losing like their heart and losing the identity of who they have been and what brought them success.
Yeah, shout out to Spain, man. They did a fantastic job this Euros. They did a really fucking great job this Euros, bro. Well, and look, man, they're exciting fucking soccer. Not the same old boring shit. Not to say it's boring to keep possession. Like, if you play soccer, it's kind of awesome.
But we want to see fucking chances. You know what I mean? When you're watching on TV, and this Spain created good chances, and they took risks. Frozone. Speaking of taking risks, Terry. Speaking of taking risks, the Argentine national team took a bit of a risk in their celebrations after winning the Copa America. They were singing a basically anti-France diss track that they made up after they won the World Cup last year in their celebrations after winning the World Cup. This song about France led Enzo Fernandez, his teammates at Chelsea, a couple of these 6 or 7 of the French guys they have, and I think just some other black people in general who are not even French, like called him out on Twitter and Instagram and all this other type of stuff. Would you like to hear the lyrics to the new Argentine hit #1 on the Spotify Argentina boards?
You freezing crazy. I didn't hear anything you said. I can allude to, I think, what you said, but I have no idea what the fuck you just said.
All right, you got me now?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to give you the lyrics for the new number one song in Argentina. Okay?
Oh,
This is what they were singing after winning the Copa America. Listen, spread the word. They play in France, but they're all from Africa. How lovely. They will run. They are trans lovers like that fucking Mbappe. Your mom is Nigerian. Your dad is Cameroonian. But on your ID, it says French. That's the song.
Might be. That's a crazy song. Why would they still sing that after the Copa? That doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Why are they still shitting on France?
I guess they haven't had time to develop any anti-Colombia songs. We'll have to give them another cycle for that. The anti-Colombia
Jesus
song.
Christ, man.
Y'all crawling through air vents to get in Miami Stadium.
I don't really have a crazy reaction to it. Yeah, Copa, man.
Hey, what better or worse than Not Like Us?
Oh, that's close.
Is this a diss track on that level? Let's break it down, Terry. Not only is the only French player on the French team Antoine Griezmann, and everyone else are black players who are from Africa and just like chose to play for France. They got
Cante.
Yeah, if you think this is false, try talking to an African person about this and watch how upset they get. These guys don't represent their own countries.
Hey man, keep them in. Stop letting them go.
I think where they slipped up was throwing in the trans shit. That y'all are trans luckers like that fucking Mbappe. In case the people didn't know, Mbappe's ex-girlfriend is like a famous trans model for Playboy. And so.
Well, South America doesn't play none of that shit.
Until they do.
Those South Americans, Central America.
Hey, trust me, I just got back from Colombia. They play that shit. They play that shit long and they play that shit hard.
Shout out to Colombia, man. I got nothing to say about that.
But what do you think about the song? Are the the French players for Chelsea right to ask that this guy have to make some type of apology before he comes back to the team? Is the song fair? Is it too much? Are people getting upset for no reason? Is this deeply insensitive? Break this down for me, Terry.
Well, I mean, the parts that are bad, they're bad. He should apologize for that. The other parts are just funny. It just happens. I don't have to say I hate the whole song. It is funny that you're making fun of France, but you gotta just know when you're wrong. Know when you're wrong and apologize. It's not that big a deal. America, we give a fuck about that shit.
So
Go ahead.
You think if Enzo comes out and he's like, you know what, I popped some trans booty hole too. I'm not one to throw stones. It's all love.
Yeah.
You think if he does that, they'll be fine?
Yeah, I think it'll be fine. But England's a little. They're similar to us. They don't really fuck with all that hate and abuse type of stuff. They'll really penalize the shit out of you for that.
The song is being called racist everywhere. Do you think the song is racist?
It's got hints, but I don't think it's the worst thing I've ever heard.
I don't think it's racist, bro. I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah,
I think this shit is
That's
actual
not the worst thing I've ever
factuals.
heard.
You could go on Transfer Market and see where these players were born, and it's not in France. I think the only part that they may have gotten themselves into some hot water was how lovely they will run. That part,
honestly,
was the part I was like, we could have done without.
I think people think it's racist.
And I'm glad that the Argentina team had the balls to say it.
And I think people think it's racist because it comes from South America, and South Americans are a little racist. So they think it's racist. I think they thought about this long and hard. They're like, all right, we are really racist, but how can we make a song that's not racist but still makes fun of black people? And then they were like, say less, I got one right here. Boom. They're blacks and they come from Africa. It's fucking, I love it. It's hilarious. It's really funny. Bro, but
we've been saying this
God.
since we were in high school. When I would pick France and you would be like, oh, you taking the African all-star team? Like, we already knew 15 years ago this is the Africa all-star team.
Yeah, for sure.
I think if the song was like, you know, they're really fast, but they can't understand the game and they don't make decisions fast enough or some shit, then they'd be in really hot water. You know what I mean? But saying that these guys are not for France, this is fair. This is fair in my book. And Terry, when you see me pulling up to your house in my car,
I don't think it's crazy at all.
With the sub knocking,
oh fuck,
you'll know where it came from.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's crazy at all. It was really funny. It was really funny watching the CONMEBOL shit and the Euros, like the contrast of like how it seemed like how organized like the Euros and even the presentation was like totally different than opposed to like the CONMEBOL and like what they were doing. Like it was just like totally two different fucking things.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in Charlotte, Uruguayan players are throwing chairs at the fans like it's WWE.
Dude, I'm America, man. I was gonna go to that game. But USA didn't make it to the semis. So it was like, fuck it. I'm glad I didn't go. To that shit because one, I wasn't interested in watching anybody but USA play soccer. But two, like, damn, crawling through the events, they love soccer more than us. Yeah, I give it to me. I'm not gonna fucking crawl through the events.
There's no doubt
to
about
watch
that.
Fucking Kristen Pulisic and Tim Weah just do dumb shit all day. I'm good on that. You guys got it. Crawl through the events to watch a game. I don't give a shit. Yeah. I'm not doing that shit. You got it. Go. Good for you.
Hey,
is it that important? You guys, none of y'all win.
I feel like I'm crawling through the vents just to get this podcast to its conclusion. You're fucking cutting in and out so much. I feel like that is going to do it for this week's episode of the Habitual Line Steppers podcast. Thank you guys for being patient and checking back in. We will have another episode before the end of the summer. I know I'm crazy busy with my summer camps and everything, and Terry with his new baby girl on the way. But we will carve out a slot for you guys. We'll have an NBA preview. We'll talk about some of the Olympics as they go down. Until then, North Carolina, continue to stand.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to our podcast this evening. Thank you. You're far too kind.